still going on adventures?
Yes, I am. In fact, I just asked my sister if she'd come on this one with me.
We're looking for the Fountain of Youth.
No!
It's only a legend
So you really think you're gonna find a magic pool of water?
There's a bit more there than that.
until you discover it.
I bet they want what we want.
Do you even know why it's hidden?
No, but I'm very curious to find out.
Fountain of Youth on Apple TV Plus, rated PG-13.
Hey soccer fans, DraftKings Sportsbook is your home for live betting and has you covered on all your MLS betting action this season with a range of markets spanning from props on goal scorers and assists to futures like MLS Cup winner, MVP, top scorer and more. DraftKings Sportsbook has an exclusive offer for soccer fans. Just download the app and use the promo code when you sign up. DraftKings Sportsbook, the crown is yours.
The win probability looks like this. Are Austin favourites today simply because they're playing at home?
Yeah, it's a busy stretch right now, and I think the Anelli injury will hurt the way that Real Salt Lake are coming into this, but they haven't been as good at home so far for Austin, only 3-3-2 here, so need to really turn this around if they want to make a way all the way up to the playoffs.
So then a boisterous atmosphere officiated by Lucas Spala, taking charge of his 10th game in the MLS regular season. Officiated the 2-2 draw between these two sides back in the 2024 campaign here at Q2 Stadium. From a VAR perspective, Daniel Radford, the 39-year-old Texan native, taking charge of the VAR officiating duties today. As always, let's hope the officials stay out of today's headlines. And so then, focus on the Stars, no doubt. So much talk of the future. But now the likes of Diego Luna and co expected to deliver in the present. Real Salt Lake with no win in their last 5. They've lost 5 of their last 7 in Major League Soccer. Brad Stuver, undoubtedly one of the finer goalkeepers in Major League Soccer over the course of the last handful of years. 6 clean sheets thus far, but it's at the other end of the field where the problems have been obvious for Austin FC. Just 10 goals scored. Brandon Vasquez with 4 of those, and a whole host of expectation on the 3 designated players leading the line for Austin FC today. Now, Kalen, they simply have to start delivering.
Yeah, it really has been the attack that has gone missing so far, and they've invested in that area, and so that's where you're starting to see, well, when will this start to click? Can these 3 find their confidence? Can they have a little bit of continuity? We've seen the same lineups, a few different formations from Nico Estevez, but at some point it comes down to making plays. Can they get on the end of it? And same thing for Real Salt Lake. Hasn't quite been there in both boxes. Some defensive errors. This man has had to continue to step up. Diego Luna has been up to the task. So star men on both sides, but needs some secondary contributions from other players, and that might make the difference.
So then a mixture of emotions and results with regards to both Austin FC and Real Salt Lake thus far this season. But both these two Western Conference sides have the same aim. The postseason is exactly where they want to be, with work to do ahead. And so away we go, amongst the atmosphere, the thrill, the expectation of Austin FC match day, where the home side need to rediscover their rhythm, and Real Salt Lake remain eager to re-establish their pathway in what feels, Kalen Carr, like a game in which both sides can sense opportunity.
Yeah, this turns in, you might say, okay, a weather delay, and you've had to wait a little longer than you've expected. Maybe your warm-up routine wasn't quite there, but I tell you what, you look at the end of the season, you come down to decision day, these Wednesday night matches in May, and that sometimes decide, oh, 1 point here, where do we drop that result? Could we have gotten over the line? You don't want to look back on these moments and think you didn't take advantage of it. So how teams on both sides start tonight, especially after this delay, will be really important.
Austin FC known for the home atmosphere and the support that they often provide for the players here, but it's not an unbreakable arena, Q2 Stadium. Austin FC have won 10 of their prior 25 games here in Major League Soccer. They've lost 7 of them as well. Wins so far this season against Sporting Kansas City, San Diego and LA Galaxy, but Real Salt Lake have been able to find success on the road on several occasions this year. Away wins at Houston Dynamo and San Diego. Now both sides will see this as an opportunity. Both sides on the cusp of the playoff conversation as it stands. Austin 9th in the West, Real Salt Lake 12th. Victory would aid them even at this stage of the season. Callum Williams alongside two-time MLS Cup finalist Caelan Carr, your commentary team here at Q2 Stadium in what is, Caelan, unsurprisingly, a boisterous atmosphere.
Yeah, this is one of the better atmospheres in MLS, and you know, the culture around the stadium, the supporters in full voice, and you can always bank on that, but they haven't quite turned those into results. And the biggest issue for me has been the obvious one: lack of goals up top. They've gone out, got some big transfers with Uzuni, Bukhari last year came into the team, and Brandon Vasquez. And Vasquez has 4 goals, but nobody else on the team has more than 1 goal to their name. So you have to see if these 3 can get clicking and find some continuity.
So then can they find this continuity as they maneuver forward through Bukhari? Down under the challenge he goes, and an early free kick now for Austin FC.
Yeah, Bukhari's looked good as of late. Look like they're going to take this one quickly here.
They do that, and it's played in towards the penalty area and pushed away behind. As we see the free kick that was given. In the end, it goes behind 4. A corner now for Austin FC and a chance from another set piece.
Yeah, but I really like the intention to play quickly here, to up the tempo, see if you can catch Real Salt Lake asleep. To mention the delay. Sometimes these early few moments you can catch someone taking a nap.
So Owen Wolff looking for his 4th assist of the campaign, a litany of green, or verde as it's known here, awaiting the service. The heads go up, it's not cleared away, there's a half-hearted appeal for handball, and eventually Real Salt Lake can clear their lines away. All the way back into the path of Brad Stuver, the 34-year-old goalkeeper formerly of Columbus Crew and New York City FC, of course. For those of you joining us late, Real Salt Lake making 1 change to their starting 11. Anelli forced out due to injury. Brian Ojeda manoeuvring into the centre of midfield, but all eyes now on this front line for Austin FC, who have already showed a glimpse of what they may very well offer in this contest.
Yeah, they're going to have to take advantage of every single phase of the game if they want to try to score goals, because only 10 goals on the season. That's tied for worst in MLS alongside CF Montreal. It just hasn't been good enough, and Montreal don't have the same weapons, so you're expecting them to make good at some point.
At the other end of the field, attention turns to defence from an Austin point of view. Real Salt Lake just unable to force their way through. Xavier Gozo, who has been praised by just about everybody within the realms of Real Salt Lake, just unable to wriggle through and now concedes a free kick.
Yeah, but an early flash at what Gozo provides with first the deep run in behind, trying to stretch the field, and this time coming back to backtrack. Clear foul on Sabovic, but Gozo came in and scored a goal in the first 50 seconds of their last match. So not afraid to come out and set a little bit of an intent coming here into Austin.
Nico Estevez, formerly of Valencia and FC Dallas, of course, was a one-time assistant coach to Greg Berhalter with the US national team. He said to us just the other day that Austin FC are still creating their identity. The game in Minnesota was interesting. They tweaked a few things that he was happy with. And this is a key moment in their season. Performances in recent weeks have warranted wins. Victory today, Caelan, would do so much for this group's confidence.
Yeah, it hasn't quite clicked so far under Estevez, and you know, new manager, new players. You mentioned the new signings already, and I expect to see him play this formation more often than not. 4-3-3. They went away from it, I think, to mirror the way that Minnesota play. I was on that match when they lost 3-0 at home to Minnesota. It was not a good performance, so he had to shift it up. But I think today, back to his preferred 4-3-3 formation.
Bukhari